Ever wondered what it was like to walk through a city over 4,000 years ago? Let us take a trip back in time to the Indus Valley and explore the bustling life of a Harappan city. Forget dusty ruins. Imagine a vibrant, thriving metropolis. A Harappan city wasn't just a collection of buildings. It was a humming hub of activity, meticulously planned and organized. At the very top, you had the rulers. We don't know if they were kings or councils, but they were the masterminds behind the city's impressive layout. They planned the construction of special, large buildings, like the Great Bath in Mohenjo-Daro. These weren't just random structures. They were symbols of power and community. The rulers were the visionaries, the city planners of their time, shaping the urban landscape we still admire today. And how did they get the resources for these grand projects? The rulers were also shrewd managers of trade. It's very likely they dispatched expeditions to faraway lands. Imagine caravans setting off on long journeys, not just for a few days, but for weeks or months. They weren't just exploring. They were on a mission. Their goal was to acquire precious resources not found locally. We're talking about metals like copper from Rajasthan or Oman, tin from Afghanistan, and even gold from southern India. They also sought out beautiful, precious stones. Lapis lazuli, a stunning deep blue stone, was brought all the way from Afghanistan. Carnelian, a reddish-orange gem, came from Gujarat. These materials were essential for the city's economy and its artisans. When these traders returned, they brought not only raw materials, but also this exchange of goods created a network that connected the Harappan civilization with the wider world, from Mesopotamia to the Persian Gulf. Now, what happened to all these valuable imports? The rulers likely kept the most exquisite items for themselves. Think about it. Dazzling ornaments made of gold and silver, intricate necklaces crafted from beautiful beads. These weren't just accessories. They were status symbols, a way to display wealth and authority. Archaeologists have found these stunning pieces in hoards, suggesting they were treasured possessions. Owning these objects set the elite apart from the general population. But the rulers couldn't manage all this alone. They needed help, and this is where another crucial group of people comes in. The scribes. Scribes were the intellectuals of the Harappan world, the people who possessed the rare and valuable skill of writing. We know they existed because of the thousands of seals that have been discovered. These small, exquisitely carved stone objects, often featuring animal motifs and a line of script, were a hallmark of the civilization. It was a sophisticated system of quality control and authentication. They also probably wrote on other materials, like palm leaves or cloth, but unfortunately, these have long since decayed and disappeared. The Harappan script itself remains undeciphered, a silent testament to a world we can only partially understand. Imagine the secrets locked away in those symbols. Beyond the rulers and scribes, the city was filled with the sounds of industry. Men and women, the craftspeople, were the backbone of the urban economy. They were the makers, the creators, turning raw materials into finished goods. Picture specialized workshops, buzzing with activity. Potters sat at their wheels, their hands skillfully shaping clay into pots, jars, and vessels of all shapes and sizes, some plain for daily use, others beautifully painted with complex designs. Metalworkers were busy in their foundries, heating and hammering copper and bronze. They forged tools like axes and knives, essential for construction and daily life. They also crafted weapons like spearheads and arrowheads. But it wasn't all just practical. They created delicate bronze figurines, like the famous dancing girl statue, a masterpiece that captures a moment of life and movement from millennia ago. They drilled holes through them with specialized tools, a process requiring immense patience and precision. These beads were then strung into necklaces and bracelets, some of the very same jewelry worn by the city's elite. Many of these activities likely took place right in people's homes. The city was a dynamic place with people constantly on the move. Traders and travelers were a common sight on the streets, heading out to distant lands or returning with valuable cargo and new ideas. Farmers from the surrounding villages would come into the city to sell their surplus grain, cotton, and other produce, making the marketplace a vibrant, noisy center of exchange. And let's not forget the children. Life wasn't all work and trade. We know that children in Harappan cities played, just like children everywhere. Oh, do we know? Archaeologists have unearthed a treasure trove of terracotta toys. These weren't just simple lumps of clay. They were creatively designed playthings. We've found miniature carts, complete with wheels that turn, pulled by tiny terracotta oxen. There are toy animals, like monkeys that could slide down a string, and birds shaped like whistles. There are little figurines, marbles, and rattles. These toys give us a heartwarming glimpse into the daily lives of Harappan families, reminding us that amidst the grand planning and bustling trade, there was joy, play, and childhood. Now, let's think about this diverse urban population. Rulers, scribes, craftspeople, traders, farmers. How does this compare to life in earlier villages, like Mehrgarh, which existed thousands of years before the great cities? Mehrgarh was one of the earliest farming communities in the region. The people there were primarily farmers and herders. They grew wheat and barley and raised cattle. While they had skilled artisans who made pottery and tools, the social structure was much simpler. There wasn't a powerful ruling class planning massive public works. There was no writing, so there were no scribes. Trade existed, but not on the vast, organized scale seen in the Harappan cities. Life in Mehrgarh revolved around agriculture and village-level crafts. The rise of the Harappan city represents a monumental shift. It marks the emergence of urbanism, social hierarchy, and specialized professions that were not present in the same way in earlier Neolithic villages. The city was a whole new way of life. So, a Harappan city was a complex and busy world. It was a planned, organized society with a clear hierarchy. From the powerful rulers adorned in gold, to the scholarly scribes with their mysterious script, to the skilled artisans creating wonders in bronze and stone, and even to the children playing with their toy carts. Everyone had a role in this remarkable civilization. It was a world of innovation, trade, and culture that laid the foundations for future societies in South Asia. Exploring their world helps us understand not just the past, but the very origins of city life itself. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the Harappan world, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into ancient history.